Hello and welcome to the Awesome 180 channel. I am Ashton Doctor, your habit coach, and today we have a very special episode because this is a question that we get asked a lot about masturbation. So we have a segment on Instagram where we ask our audience questions on sex, and one of the predominant questions that keep coming up is on masturbation. So let's discuss that thoroughly today. And if you like content like this, please don't forget to hit subscribe and press that little bell icon so you know when future videos come out. Today we're going to be discussing about male masturbation. Now this is something that has been, that has existed under this whole veil of secrecy, right? We were always ashamed of it. We didn't know who to talk to, what to do. We all knew everyone was doing it, but nobody really spoke about it. So today let's talk about the pros and cons of men masturbating. We'll do another video on women masturbating later. So when we talk about men masturbating, let's look at what the pros are. The first is that masturbation is a great way to relieve some of that sexual frustration that gets built up. We are constantly exposed to so much sexual content that there is a certain level of frustration that builds up, and masturbation is a great way or a release for that. Especially, when you're young. The second thing is about testosterone, right? There's so much testosterone coursing through your veins that you don't really realize what you're doing. I remember when I was in college once, we were so frustrated and we were so excited about sex that I was looking up the telephone directory just to find any word that sounded similar to sex. It was so crazy. And that is the kind of mindset that we live in. Women, if you're listening to this, that is the kind of thoughts that go on in our mind when we're at that young age. Now, what's interesting is that this testosterone needs an outlet, and masturbation is a good way, especially when you're young, for that to take place. The final pro for masturbation for men is that it can kind of tell you what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy, how you like to be touched, and that is something that you could possibly convey to your partner later on. Now let's look at the cons, because those were the three pros, but there are a few cons here. The first con to masturbation is that it desensitizes the penis. If you masturbate too much, if you masturbate too vigorously, it can desensitize the penis. And what that does is that it makes sex less pleasurable. Many people do not come with sex or orgasm with sex because their penis has been desensitized because of masturbation. So if this is a problem that you face, maybe this is one issue that you can think about. The second is that, masturbation has always been associated with this clandestine activity, right? That you do quickly on the sly, while nobody's around in the house. And as a result, your mind is now being programmed to ejaculate quickly. And what is the second biggest problem that men talk about? Premature ejaculation or coming too fast, ejaculating too quickly. This is the reason. Because we masturbate, we get into the habit of trying to ejaculate or orgasm as fast as possible, because that is the goal. Instead of understanding how to think about pleasure, instead of understanding how to think about sex, which is not just about orgasming or coming as fast as possible. The third con is that it reduces your testosterone level. So if you're not in that early teen, young, youthful age when your testosterone is like through the roof, it can actually dramatically reduce it as you age. And this is something that we must all be aware of, especially as men, because we're all growing up. So try to avoid it, because it is definitely going to cause a havoc with your testosterone, and testosterone is linked to so many important vital functions in the male body that we need to keep that at an all-time high. The final biggest con with masturbation is that masturbation plus porn creates something very interesting. If you watch a lot of porn and masturbate, you are disinterested in your sexual partners, the real life sexual partners, because your pornography has now taken over your mind. A real life person does not excite you as much as the porn did. Isn't that just scary? Because that is what you wanted. You wanted a real life person, and which is what you were substituting with porn for. And now when the real person comes into your life, it's impossible. Okay, so start thinking about these cons. Now, how to make masturbation a part of your life? I would say these are two ways to think about masturbation as a habit. The first is try no masturbation if you have a committed sexual partner or have sexual partners with you. So there is a release. Try no masturbation, it makes a big difference. The second thing to do is to either reduce your masturbation to once a week or twice a week. Once a week or twice a week, no more than that, and keep a gap between these two. You will notice this is a better way of recycling the testosterone, building up your testosterone, and hence you're not always on edge saying that, I'm addicted to masturbation, I have to masturbate every day. And there are so many people who write and say they masturbate 3 times a day. In the morning it is a must, just before bed it is absolutely essential, otherwise they don't get sleep. Do not fall into the trap. Those are not good habits to create for yourself. Start creating the structure. Start being in charge of your system, and you'll see a dramatic change, a beautiful change in your life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends and family who are going through this. Masturbation is something completely normal. All of us do it. We must talk about it. So please share. Let's create this conversation. Let's remove the taboo from all these topics. I'm Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach, and remember, awesome lives, they start with awesome habits.